I'll talk about how we progress as our roundtable this afternoon. I am from a producer family, and I work with cooperatives. I'm on the board of the National Production Cooperatives, and they represent about a little bit more than 30% of the slaughterhouses and about 80% of the industrialized milk in Paraguay, and about 20% of agriculture in Paraguay. So then we have different members. In our roundtable we have about 5 different constituencies. There are the producer side, industry, almost the whole, except one chain of slaughterhouses, they are all in our chain represented. We have NGOs, we have the finances from the service sector in our board, and we have retailers too, and Biggie in this case is on the board. Other ones are McDonald's and others. So, back to Paraguay, we have a population of about 7 million people. Cattle, beef and dairy, about 13.5 million head. We are now in the 7th place in exports worldwide, and 70% of our beef is actually exported. It's about 12% of our economy is the beef value chain. Yeah, and it gives about the same amount, about 11% of the workforce are engaged in the beef value chain. We are working now for 3 years to establish the roundtable, and last year in October we founded our roundtable officially. We have 21 members right now from the different sectors. You will recognize some. 3 committees are working hard, especially the technical one, because we need to see what is sustainable for us in our situation and in our country. We have legal affairs working to give us governance. We need to, in the long term, need to establish the rules, how we will proceed. And communications, it's very important to have good communication between the sectors, but to the markets too, and to our people living especially in the cities. We came together as different stakeholders, and we recognize that the current laws are adequate to meet the criteria of sustainable production. That means in the East Paraguay it's developed, and there's zero change of use of the soil. And in the Chaco region it's different. There by law we must leave about 25% if we buy a piece of land, that's a legal forest reserve, and then we need to leave strips. So that's about 15 to 20% again. So we can develop about 50 to 60% of our of the place, and we must leave 40 to 50% in the natural stage. An example, in this case we see a piece of land, we see the legal reserve, we see the different pastures. This is a new development. This is a development from many decades. In this case you see the strips are left, and even we leave the big trees in the system. We only take the little trees and we don't burn it. We seed like in this situation. So that's what is allowed by law today. And it's like this. If we see it from a near place, these are the strips we need to leave. These are the pastures, and this is the natural reserve from another perspective. So what we do as Roundtable, we try to improve the already made pastures. That's important for us because if we intensify what we have developed already, we will be more efficient and we will produce better. It will be better for us. Then some definitions. I will go fast. Paraguay as a world reference for sustainable beef. That's a dream. We must think far ahead. We have much work to do. And to be a reference in Paraguay for the production of healthy beef as a product of the sustainable value chain. That's something we need to work inside Paraguay because we have many farmers that are still looking like this, what we want to do as a roundtable, and we need to focus on that. We want to have them in our ship. We want to produce. But also we have many people that are already doing a very good work, and we want to talk about that too. So we want to promote the sustainability of the Paraguayan beef value chain. I already talked before at morning about we need to be economically profitable, we need to be socially fair, and we need to be environmentally correct. And that's sometimes difficult to get in a right perspective because some people, we many times we are talking and discussing between the different groups, and maybe everyone sees a little bit different what is sustainability, how is the equilibrium on these three issues. But I think every one of this is important and we need to focus on that. And as we do that, we need to come to an agreement about the meaning of what is sustainable beef at our local scale in Paraguay. So we are working on the principles. We worked one principle, and we are now working on the next principles. And maybe we are doing work that is not so fast, but we want to leave a good basement to build up. And we want to invite more people in our country to join us. It's very important for us to have a very good group. So governance is something we need to finish. We are working at this. We need to do many things. We heard in the previous presentations, they already define attributes and indicators. They are promoting sustainable practices. We are just beginning with this, and probably we need to choose measurable priorities to focus on. We need to do this and to see what we can do, what is first, and then develop a good communication plan to join forces together. And we need to apply especially these sustainable practices. Humans dialogue initiated. That was the first big thing, because we had many producers, industry, NGOs, and all. We sometimes don't talk. It was the problem in Paraguay, and now it's the challenge to change that. We want to talk together. We want to come to a consensus as we can, and to do things together and do it in a better way. So we have some agreements already, and we are building trust while we are going ahead. Challenges. We have so many challenges. Be a leading organization and a reference to others. That's not, it's a difficult thing. We want to improve the image of the country, but we need better, I will say it better, we need to create a country image. Many people, they don't know Paraguay. What is Paraguay? Where we are. And I think we are in this way, in this path. We need to attend many issues. We need to see how to produce and implement good practices, and to incorporate the sustainability in the whole chain. Conclusions. Sustainability is the key. We will hear it for the whole life, and we will face this challenge. It's far better to do it together than to do it every organization alone. We are privileged to learn from all these present roundtables. We learned a lot already, and we will continue doing it as we share our situations. And we are committed with sustainability, and we'll do everything to be part of the solution in our country. Thank you.